Hey, listen, I quit. Yeah, I'm going into stocks.
Name of the game. Move the money from your client's pocket into your pocket. But if you can make your client's money at the same time, it's advantageous to everyone, correct? No.
No one is paying attention.
It's unbelievable.
Have to act now.
God, this is intimate. I feel like I'm financially inside of you or something.
Okay.
I have 5 houses and a condo.
I'm considering going long on April wheat. What do you think, Valentine?
Hi guys, welcome to the Greedy Trader channel. Well, I'm not exactly greedy, as most of you old watchers of the channel will testify. I have the most conservative approach to trading. It's just a nice parody idea from the Gordon Gekko mantra. There are only 2 kinds of traders, the greedy ones and the fearful ones.
Greed, for lack of a better word, is good. Greed is right. Greed works.
Those of you who are new to the channel, this is where you can learn how to really trade like a professional. Every video I make is packed with real examples with before and after scenarios, so you can see that it is simply a question of sticking with the plan and not changing it because you're having an emotional meltdown. No! Good morning, folks. Good to see you guys all here. Fantastic. I'm going to take a minute to say thank you very much for supporting the channel. What I try and do here is make the whole idea about trading real. Trading's hard, it's difficult, we all know that. And everyone needs some support as we go through this journey. I'm just a humble trader. Only been doing this for 15 years plus now. So I think I've earned my stripes. So I'm here as many days in the week I can manage to have a chat with you guys, also show you a little bit about what I'm doing and how I make money trading and how I don't overcomplicate things. It's really that simple. I have a very simple idea around trading and I just go with that all the time. Of course, my market knowledge and breadth of understanding is much greater just because of the time spent and all the different asset classes I've been involved in. I've had to acquire a large breadth of knowledge, technically and fundamentally. I use market profile a lot. You would see that come up here and there. I also use, as you can see, TWS, and that's why I do a lot of my premium sales. So I'm short PayPal puts, hoping to get paid out on these every week. I sell premium to make money every week. This is a 52 DTE calendar, so as you can see, these things tend to crush quite quickly. So hopefully in the next couple of days, I've got good news. But it's really simple for me. I'm a little bit bunged up today on my nose for some reason. Don't know why. I can't say it's the time of year, just because I'm not in the UK at the moment, so yeah, for where I am, it's dead as summer. But in any case, I'm feeling a little bit groggy. So you might feel a slight shift in my voice. Anyway, the title of this video is a little bit crazy, right? But this stuff actually did happen, and we're going to talk about that. I've been trying to avoid the subject for a week, but I'm finally going to talk about it because everyone in the FinTwit world is talking about it. Now, for those of you who remember the old podcast days, the old Chat with Traders podcast, would recall Mad As. This poor trader, and this is going to come back to something, you know, that I tell you guys all the time. In fact, I just did a video the other day about trading losses. And I was asking the question, why is everyone blowing up? So we got this trader has melted down over the past couple of days for over 400k. Nearly, well, pretty much blown all their gains for the year, right? In literally a couple of days. And this trader won't stop trading. Now, this guy posts every day. Now, I've spoken to a lot of huge traders because I run a podcast and I interview some of the largest traders in the world. Now, if you want more details, you can always join my Discord server and you'll see some of the traders I've spoken to. They're by no measure small. I haven't spoken to any trader that's under 7 figures. All right. This trader, over the lifespan of his career, reportedly made somewhere, I think, I don't want to say something incorrect, but I think he's made roughly about 18 million. But what's interesting is he's on a meltdown. And I keep saying this, right? The people you see who are making crazy money just out of the blue are always doing the things that you can't afford to do. If I recall, this particular trader came from the sports betting world into trading. And like most people, they get introduced to small caps, and I spoke about that the other day. And he got introduced to small caps. As you can see, there are all these, and I'm going to tell you what's wrong with this, right? And I'm going to tell you why this is the kind of trading that I stayed away from. Right? This is the real hurricane trades, right? But there you go. So they trade obviously all these MNDR, XOS, all these hopeless names, right? Trading for $2 a stock, 76 cents a stock, 19 cents a stock, $1.25, and they're shorting these things. But just take a look at this. P&L minus $110,000. Okay, it's a lot of size. You know, but they're people. This is their entire yearly wage, and that's a pretty decent job in the UK. If someone's earning the equivalent of $110,000, they think they're the dog's bollocks. They really do. They walk around with their head held high. Everybody's looking crisp. It's just the reality of it. It's $110,000, right? We're traders, so we're supposed to think of these things as no money at all. That's the idea. We're supposed to look at it and think, oh well, it's just $110,000. But this is the point, right? I always say, you got to make trading real in your mind, right? It is just numbers, but it's also not just numbers. It is real money that can have real impacts on individuals' lives. But a lot of people have seen them as numbers too far, right? So 4 blow-ups now in the past 7 days. Pissed away the last 3 days worth of gains and then some. Well, at this point, I've been following this within the FinTwit world. This is a trade I wanted to have on my podcast as well, so I can just have a chat. But either way, I've sat through it, and I know that this is an understated thing. I mean, there are big traders all over the world right now trying to convince this guy to stop trading. Like, just stop trading and take a break. Apparently, he believes he trades every day and has never taken a break over the past couple of years. And that's responsible for his growth. But that's the problem. It's these type of traders that are spreading the idea that, well, yeah, trading's easy and you can just sit there and make money shorting small caps. But today is one of those days. I mean, look at that. Took 123k beating. And look what he made on the other ones to hedge this. So it's obvious that we're talking about traders who have no risk management. They just keep pyramiding into trades, right? So we're talking full-on martingale type stuff. And of course, when it works till it doesn't work. That's just what it is. So he might continue to melt down, I don't know, because he just won't stop, or he might succeed in the end. He might recover all of this by the end of the year. When you're trading this wild, anything can happen. But my point is that you can't be doing that as an everyday trader trying to make money for you and your family. You can't be doing this. This is just not something you want to pay attention to. And I bring this up again because I mentioned in one of my other videos about traders who are doing these kind of small cap things and then telling the whole world that you're going to be a millionaire trading. Ever wanted a prop firm that would just fund you and you get to prove your ability? Meet Tradify, the futures prop firm doing just that. Choose from tailored funding programs that align with your trading style, offering account sizes up to $750,000 with the ability to go straight to funded account, skipping evaluations. Experience seamless trading with their integration with top-tier platforms like Tradeovate, providing powerful features and access to the latest technology in the futures market. Enhance your strategy with automated trade journaling, offering in-depth analysis to refine your performance. Follow a transparent path from evaluation to live funded accounts with clear rules to support you at every step. Start trading a fully funded account now with Tradify. Please use the link in the description below. It supports the channel and our sponsors. These guys were already outliers because they had the guts to do this kind of stuff. You know, these are the guys who tell you, oh, I came from 5K to 10 million in 3 years, or, you know, this is the kind of stuff they're doing. That's the reality of it. And this was a timely event for me to do this video because I've been trying, this is exactly what I'm trying to tell people, that, you know, and this guy has people who are in his trading room, and they're not a small number of people who are being advised to do things this way. And for some people it might work for a while, and then they go on till and they start to have a year like this, and then they blow up their accounts and they're like, oh shit, I've been misled, I've been drinking the Kool-Aid, now look, complete utter disaster. There has to be an element of risk management, right? And I tell you why all of this doesn't work out in the long run. First and foremost, all of these guys, right? If you're part of the FinTwit world that I'm part of, you would see all of these guys are using, and you're going to see what the problem is pretty shortly. All of these guys are using the same broker, right? I'm going to avoid saying names, but they're all using the same broker, the same platform. They're all shorting the same stocks. Now, if I was a market maker, I would make very, very, very short work of these guys. That's the reality of it. Because one, you're trading with my brokerage. Two, all of you are trading with my brokerage. Three, all of you have got your stats and all that stuff posted online. Four, you're all trading the same stocks, so know exactly what you're trading. So if I was making a market in MNDR, all I'll do is put some sophisticated algorithm to pump those prices up as they go short at the level that I know they're all going to go short. I'm going to squeeze them all out. Really simple. At some point, because I know the brokerage you're using, I also know how much money you got, and I know how hard I got to hit you for all your margins to dry up. And when I'm done, I'm just take the whole thing down again. I'll make my money that way. And that's happening over the years because the number of people who've been doing stuff like this and coming into the game. There are algorithms now who are particularly hunting for these kind of traders with a lot of size, think they're nuts, and then they're trying to squeeze them because they know that kind of trader is just going to keep holding on. They're not going to give up. They got too much size on. Once they start getting squeezed, they're just going to keep adding because they can't afford to take the first hit. Welcome to the world of trading. So the question was why? 400k loss. Why? That's why. And look at what the trader says. I was initially sitting pretty on XOS with a nice win, but fell into the trap of thinking you can size up more on a cheaper name like MNDR. Fell into the trap, he said. These traders all have the same scanners and they're selling people some of the scanners that they're using. Some of them built their own scanners to do this and they're all doing the same thing and the market makers know it. So MMDR didn't just pop up on his scanner. Like I said, if you're in the world of FinSwit that I'm in, it didn't just pop up on his scanner, it popped up on everyone's scanner. So literally every trader was losing money on it. He's not the only one. He was just one of the biggest meltdowns. But some of them are smart. They got hit and then they realized that they got to take a break. You got to stop. This is probably, they don't have the account to deal with that crap. So they stopped. But then the rest of them kept going. And this is the end result. Point in case, I had to bring that up. So when I say to people, like, trading, you have to make it real. Like, you got to understand that, one, you ain't going to make money every day. Two, you got to have an idea or a strategy that you're willing to act on. And you have to have a very strong element of managing risk around whatever you're trying to do. Because if it's a high reward strategy and it's going to turn over a lot, i.e. pay you a lot, then there's going to be some risk attached to it. Now I sell put premiums, it's not completely risk free, right? But because I sell premium, I opt to sell the put side, right? As opposed to the call side. What that does is the positive drift to the market gives me edge on the put side. Right, of course, in a bear market where it's rotating everywhere, I've got to be really selective with my strikes. I need to be really selective with my calendars. But when the market equalizes and we have that steady positive drift that we all know we get with US equities, then it's not a problem. There is not a problem. You're going to make money. Right, so I already know that the strategy has an edge. Well, the idea has an edge. The strategy that I'm using has an edge. And also the asset class that I'm playing with gives me a natural edge. So there's risk in selling premium, but I can always manage this. If this starts to go a bit sideways, I can decide at what point I want to average. Maybe I want to exit. Maybe I want to cover and collect more premium in the future. Whatever I want. Like, it's more flexible, right? So I can see where I can make income every week. And I'm more confident that I can do that. Or I could have gone and traded like these guys, small caps, right? Start shorting them every week, paying some broker to get locates for shorts, and then boom, on the go every week, sitting in front, just like that trader there, not taking a break, just firing away. I could have done that, but I didn't. I chose to sell premium. So it definitely doesn't make me $110,000 a day or that kind of, not even close. But it means that I make good income, that I can sit here and do this consistently for a long period of time. That's it. There's no other secret. And that's what I try and say to trade. Like, look, if I work with a trader, trying to mentor them through this journey so they can be profitable themselves, and not in the loose sense of the word profitable, because that's the problem. There's a lot of people out there using this profitable word quite loosely. It just essentially means that you can make some money, maybe that allows you to get out of a job and replace that job income. It might not be a lot at first, but over time you can build on it, as long as, like any kind of vehicle that you're trying to use capital to make capital, as long as you can save money and put that money in that vehicle, you can use the rest of whatever you're making to fund your life. To do that, you need something that's pretty solid, right? Now, of course, you can build that into a bigger business. As you develop something solid, you can decide to become an asset manager. So, start with people you know, get funds together, manage it properly with your idea. Everyone knows your idea, so everyone's going to go along with it. If it makes money, I have yet to find someone who's going to say no, they don't want to go along with it. And then you can diversify a little bit to give yourself some added protection. Maybe start a long equity portfolio, for example, or you could, consider you're building a business around what you do. You're an entrepreneur as a trader as well. Can't forget that. So there's nothing wrong with building a business around what you do. So if you have a unique knowledge, someone's mentored you through that journey and they've given you a unique knowledge, you can think of it as a way now to build a business around that, whether that's from the management side or it's from helping others like you within your circle. You can build a business around it. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that, because what is that? Diversification. You're a trader. I remember a couple of years ago talking to a trader who was investing in farmland, right? So still did a bit of trading, but a lot of his business now was farmland, right? Because that's where he chose to put his gains or his hard-earned reward from trading, was into farmland, because he's a businessman. There's also a trader that I admire, I find very interesting, Chris Camillo, right? And he's now a venture capitalist in addition to a trader, and he doesn't even do any crazy trading. He just does what he calls social arb, right? Where he looks at the market in relation to the real world. That's informed my own portfolio decision making, and I got pretty good at doing that. So as traders, we learn from each other. I might be sitting here talking to you today, but at one point I was learning from someone. So anybody out there who thinks that they don't have to go through that journey and they're just gonna wing it, good luck. Maybe I see you in a year's time, maybe I don't. Who knows, right? You might just be that one. But for the most part, most people are not that one, and as a result, without proper direction, we all know the end result. You end up around people like Madaz because apparently he's this 8-figure trader or whatever, and then you end up having a blowout and a meltdown like he's having. It's just what it is. I always say, if anyone needs my help, I'm always there. And you join my Discord, you can see what I do. It's all quite transparent. But that's the point, right? That is just the point. Why does someone need to make a 400k loss and just keep losing money over the course of a week? For which money that is probably someone's 4 years worth of salary. It's just crazy, right? It just gives the wrong idea and perception about what a trader is, and that is it's just nuts. Anyway, let's talk value. Let's talk value. I always try and give value when you come to these sessions. I wanted to talk about this trader who lost money to reinforce the point that not everyone who you see with digits on FinTwit or whatever place you look is a legitimate trader. Not everyone. Some people are doing the things that are going to destroy you because you just haven't got that mental capital to do that. In some cases, not even the physical capital, and it will completely, utterly smash you. And most of these guys, they have the semblance of having it together, but they really don't. And that's the evidence, right? So that needed to be a conversation. But talk about value. I'm short PayPal puts, so again, we can see the risk on this, i.e., I say the risk, we can see the possibility on this, i.e., we could be covering this at 50 cents. We know that generally it's a 52-day calendar, so maybe 83 cents is a good thing to aim for. Let's see how the decay curve hits in when we get to that 45 DTE mark. So that's how I've chosen to play some ideas this week. I will be looking at AMD calls, right? So that will be something on my agenda. I'll be looking at it maybe from an intraday perspective because I don't sell calls. But I've been thinking increasingly about how I can integrate that into what I do for some extra premium. So that might be working with the 3DTs now because we're Tuesday. But if I just pop over here to AMD 3DTEs, I might start looking at the wings, right, for sales. And if you take a look at this now, AMD's been dropping for a while, so you can see the calls are on the floor. So I am expecting a pop. And the best way to view this is to look at it on a smaller time frame, 5-minute chart. So these premiums are quite liquid, obviously it's AMD calls, so you know, it's what it is. So if we do get an intraday pop, you know, anywhere to $1.20 or $1.30, it might end up being a good sell, something that you can cover even before the close of the contracts or before the contract expires on Friday. So that's going to be firmly on the agenda because with calls this cheap, that's probably where we're going to get the pop. I've already got PayPal, which is probably the best thing to sell this week on premium. So if we get a pop on AMD, should turn out to be a good sell if we can cover that before Friday. I'm not expecting any major news from AMD that's going to put me at risk of these calls going crazy. We can also see there about 1,250 contracts that have traded at about the $1.25 mark. So any pop into that region should definitely draw interest. I mean, maybe even we might just pop to 77 and start selling off. But for me, I don't want to deal with the junk side of it. I want it to push a little higher. But that's what we're looking at. Interesting for me is looking at cable, which is, you know, I cut my teeth. We're setting up for a pivot on the week with gap in value, right? We've got, in my opinion, a very late bid stack sitting up here. So if this doesn't hold out, we're going to tear through this really, really quickly. Ideally, I'd want to see the REIT close, and then if we can continue to build up here, then we get a pivot next week. It will be Christmas. So this might be a really good shorting opportunity lining up. If for guys who've seen some of the other videos, if you recall, I sold puts on cable at 120, sold calls on cable at 126 on the currency option side. It doesn't matter on that side, you can sell calls on puts, it's all the same. Futures options are a little bit different than stock options. But I sold calls at 126 strike, it's over 126 at the moment. I'd already come out of those calls like ages ago, but the idea is still there. I just couldn't carry any more risk or weight on the currency side because I really started to doubt that my idea was valid based on some of the moves we were making. Since it was the 20 days, that was always going to be interesting. But there you go, in a nutshell. So we'll see how things play out as we crush lower. It's obvious we're going to go lower. We've got a cap in value. For guys, if you don't know what this is, all of this stuff is, I've got a ton of videos on the channel anyway on market profile, but it's a gap in value. So that's some nuggets right there for people who are looking to take advantage of this trade. Just keep an eye on it. This is a weekly profile, so it is what it is. Exciting. This wasn't going to be a long video. So once again, adios.
Hey, listen, I quit. Yeah, I'm going into stocks.
Name of the game. Move the money from your client's pocket into your pocket. But if you can make your client's money at the same time it's advantageous to everyone, correct? No.
No one is paying attention.
It's unbelievable.
Have to act now.
God, this is intimate. I feel like I'm financially inside of you or something.
Okay.
I have 5 houses and a condo.
I'm considering going long on April week. What do you think, Valentine?